Good morning, all. For Thursday, the 21st of October. My, that was a lot of rain last night. In fact, the Met Office at about 9 p.m. upgraded it to an amber warning of rain, which is quite unusual for our part of the country. I haven't yet managed to work out how much fell, other than by looking at the Lasham weather station, but a significant amount of rain fell last night, and certainly my house felt like it was in the Wizard of Oz yesterday. So for today, cold front's gone through, which is good news. Obviously, now we're a bit more unstable air, should be soarable as well. But the direction of that wind is going to pose a problem for us. High pressure is sat out in the Atlantic, and for the next couple of days, it should be reasonably sort of stable before another sort of low pressure system starts making its way into Scotland by sort of Sunday. But for today, sort of strong northwesterly wind and an improving picture. Those winds, as I was saying, are arguably fairly strong and not from a particularly good direction for Lasham. Probably about 340 at 20 knots at flying heights. With the surface winds at Lasham, as you can see, reducing through the day, but generally being 12 knots or so from the northwest, which is always tricky. Clear skies, though, for most of the day, with an odd spattering cumulus and pretty good visibility as well. But temperatures well down. I mean, look at that, definitely into single figures feeling like now. Satellite picture at the moment, well, as the sun doesn't come up too early now, we only get a brief snapshot into it, but looking at what's going on, you can see most of the sort of cloud has cleared off to our east, leaving us with a fairly bright day and really no significant weather other than the very, very slight possibility of a shower if we get too much heating. As I was saying, top temperature today probably of about sort of it's a little bit out of date. So again, about 10 degrees and dew points 2. So reasonable splits for a little bit of soaring, but yeah, fairly cold, not shorts as some people do. Radar is not showing anything significant. It said isolated showers across sort of Wales and sort of the south of England, but nothing I imagine that will affect us. Just to give you an idea, we're 7 degrees at the moment and 2 on the dew points. You can just sort of see where that cold front went through, big drop in dew points. So no real issue with cloud-based today, which is nice, and it'll be nice and bright and crisp. And certainly overnight, the pressure has been all over the place, which explains why it's been so windy. Where it is interesting to look at is the rain. We can see that we did get quite a lot of rain through sort of the early part of the night, and then a gap before another big load came just after 1 a.m. this morning. So the state of the airfield I haven't yet obviously checked, but it could be a little bit questionable in parts due to the waterlogged nature that we do get at this time of year. Picture outside looks like that, so nice and clear if you're not near Lasham, no question there. And looking at Farnborough, scattered at 3,500 feet. If I'm honest, it's probably more cavoque at the moment, and northwesterly wind setting up, and that northwesterly wind will be with us for most of the day, and no other significant weather really. Top Meteo suggests that it will be soarable, blue to shallow Q, but if we look at sort of 1 o'clock, there should be blue to shallow Q up to around 2,500 to 3,000 feet above Lasham, maybe even getting 3,500 feet later. So not a bad day by any stretch. Just a bit tricky getting off the ground and getting back on it, but away from that should be quite nice. Maybe even a short cross country for the brave, but landing out at the moment might result in a big splash. So yeah. NOTAM wise, a couple to think about. Parachuting Little Rissington for most of the day between 8:30 and 6. It's a cone, surface 3,000 feet, 3 nautical miles, and 6 nautical miles up to 6,000 feet, as you won't be going higher than that. There is a restricted area temporary down on the south coast. I expect it to get cancelled at some point because the Red Arrows did a display at Portsmouth Harbour with HMS Prince of Wales, which was almost in the dark last night. As you can see, they have this NOTAM has a schedule, which is unusual for a restricted area. Of yesterday, it was in the evening, and today it would be between 3 and about 4 o'clock. So yes, if you're heading down that way, my advice is check the NOTAMs immediately before you depart, and potentially give one of the local air traffic units a call just to see if the NOTAM is still there, as although there the rules and regulations, yeah, I'm hoping the CAA will cancel that before long if the display is not going ahead, which is what I believe. Usual Farnborough Solent NOTAMs, and same at the Boscombe Down. Paraglide is just on the northwestern edge, which is unsurprising as that's the interwind bits. And parachuting at Hereford, but not going that far. So yeah, just keep an eye out for these 2 NOTAMs and you should be fine. Back to presentation. Setup is going to be a little bit interesting. I'm expecting the airfield to be waterlogged. I might be pleasantly surprised and find it isn't. This causes a bit of a problem for us because a northwesterly wind means we can't have the winch too far back, otherwise we get the cables a bit close to the airliners. But at the same time, I can't have the launch point too far back either, because if we're going to need to land on the runway, then we need the space to do that. So if we are waterlogged, which is likely, then land on the runway with caution. I think the north circuits probably should give way to the south circuits to use the runway, because the south side grass is nearly always worse. We'll take a review on it. If for whatever reason we're not able to safely set up a winch operation, we will look at an alternative solution. But yes, those of you wondering, will Jordan go on the short runway? Well, I mean, it's not, I can never rule anything out, a bit like a government minister, but it's probably even worse down there. So yeah, I'm not expecting to go down to 3-4 today. And 737 is due to depart off to Tallinn, I think that's Estonia, or is it Latvia? I can't remember. Well, one of the two, between 10 and 10:30 today. So that'll probably be going just before we depart. So yes, so let's see what the airfield is like. Get all the K21s out. We have 4 serviceable at the moment. So trial lessons will go ahead this afternoon. And yeah, we'll just take a view on it, but just caution all of the wind shear and usual hoi polloi that you get with a northerly. It's nothing new really when operating at Lasham, but okay, good. I'm next in after today on Monday, so if I don't see you today, I will see you next week. Bye for now.